And we're here with another quick little review, not only on the game, but the other side of it being, the RA set. So this is a weird one. For instance, I really didn't think I was actually going to play it. We will just play on hard and we'll do a quick race. Even though, now that I think of it, probably should play on 5 because that's the achievement. But ignoring that, we'll just go in and we'll play a quick one. But ignoring that, this is a Game Boy Color racer, and at first glance it does look a little rough. I'm not going to say it looks beautiful, but it is in fact a pretty competent racer for the system. Game Boy Color is not the strongest system as well known, but it feels pretty nice and smooth. It does have a few mock-ups like what just happened, and there is a huge problem on hard where sometimes it really feels like the game is just cheating you, but otherwise I do think it feels pretty good. Most of the power-ups are pretty bad, but it makes up for being a situational game into a decent one. I'm not going to say it's definitely one of the best games ever. It looks pretty rough, as you can see. Its sound, while decent, it would definitely get irritating if I played it for too long. I keep avoiding the green stars even though they're not bad, but it's just habit. But overall, it is a decent experience for the Game Boy Color. When it comes to racing games on the Game Boy Color, there are a few good ones, but most of them do lack a lot of, one, content, which this also lacks, and two, suffers from usually very janky controls. But I will admit here, avoiding the green star again, that this actually controls really well. It feels incredible on the turn, and even as the camera goes into turning around and forces your direction to change slightly, you still have a lot of control over your racer. That isn't to say that it's fantastic in that department. I mean, it is just steering and pressing gas. The brake is almost worthless, besides like a very few instances where it matters. Yeah, we're going to crash here because I rode the outside too much. But ignoring that, there's also a very big problem with the AI specifically. No matter what the second place, whoever is in second place, will never actually lose your back end. They will always be on your ass. That's the one that reverses controls. Whoops. It's not too bad. You do get a nice little song, though. Whoops. But, it will always be on your ass, and it's really annoying. It takes rubber banding to an insane degree, and it also leads into a couple issues that happen on hard mode in some of the later races in a 5-lap race, especially for one of the achievements, which we'll talk about in a minute. But ignoring that, the power-ups, while simplistic, do work. That's really annoying. But the snail does an insane slow, which I'm going to be brutally honest, in some of the achievements, if you're going for it and you get the snail, just give up. It's really brutal a lot of the time, unless it's super early on in the race. The horseshoe, as you can see, is invincibility from everything. The one I just passed, the steering wheel, actually inverts your directions for controls. The green star pushes you to max acceleration for, it seems to be like multiple frames, but if you have a snail, it will just go back to slow. So yeah, the anchor right there literally just dead stops you. If you have a choice between any of the power-ups, the bad ones, the snail, or the anchor, go with the anchor. But ignoring that, the set is very simple for a very simple racer. While it's overall a decent kind of trounce through it, it does lack a lot of detailing because there's not a lot of content. You have the tournament mode, which you're going to be going through, though luckily you can stack difficulties because it will take you about an hour to go through the 5-lap tournament. And at the same time, as we finish up this race right here, you have the quick races, which you have to go through, and the hardest achievement in the set, where you need first place on every single race, which there are 10 in a tournament of 5 laps. So you would have to go into options, you would then put it on hard, 5 laps, and you could turn off music or sound, click done, and you would go into tournament, and you have to get first place in all 10. That means, one, not running out of time. Time wasn't a big issue there. There's also a time power up in tournament that's very important, that gives you 10 more seconds, and you also just can't fall behind, which is a really hard achievement. It doesn't seem that hard, but for this game, it is actually incredibly difficult. It's one of those things where once you get to these levels right here, specifically the ones on tarmac, it becomes a very big struggle to not lose a ridiculous amount of time, which kind of covers every achievement. It is a very small set, only 12 achievements. Will take you a decent amount of time. If you're like me and you struggle to get first place a lot, in even some simple racers such as this, then you'll find that it might take you a couple tries to get the 10 first places in a row, like I did. But it took me about 5 hours to get the mastery for about 190 points, and it's about worth it. I do think it would have been easier if I was better at the game, of course. But overall, it plays decently well. I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10 for Game Boy Color. Because it's Game Boy Color, it's going to get a little bit better of a score than, a normal racer. But the set itself is simplistic, and it kind of fulfills every little bit of content. I'm not sure what else they could have, or what else the dev could have done. There's a few things, I guess, like collect all these coins, because technically they don't truly respawn, or some insane challenges that I really wouldn't have wanted to see. Like hit every power up would probably be one, but don't do that. But overall, I think the set itself is a 7 out of 10. It does exactly what the game sets out to do. Has a bit more challenge than you would expect because of simply adding first place requirements for the tournament. But with that, that's basically it as we go and race into the distance. And that is Toy Story Racer on Game Boy Color. Decent little set and a decent little game to pick up and play.